Now then, campers, how are we, gang? Hope you are going as well as what you possibly can be in this roller coaster of a world that we seem to be finding ourselves in. It's Andy here with another Ask Andy Anything. And tonight, we're going to go through what I'm going to be calling the can-do list. We've heard plenty about what we can't do, especially here in Melbourne, in Metro Melbourne especially. But what can we do? And the thing is, gang, whether you're in Metro Melbourne or like Northern Territory or across over in Perth or over the other side of the world, it really makes no difference because we're all in different elements of being locked down in different ways and forms, and from a real estate point of view, there's still a hell of a lot of the market that's just being really, really quiet right now. So we've all got time, whether we've got loads of time because we can't leave our house, or whether we've just not got as much happening right now. So, gang, firstly though, before we crack on, and Craig Tertz has beat me to the punch. He's an 8.67 out of 10. How are we, gang? Out of 10, give yourselves a score. Post it in the comment section below. Let me know how you are going, please. It has been an interesting time. We've all had a chance to sleep. We've all had a chance to stew. We've all had a chance to, take whatever pot shots we want to take at Dan or whoever. Okay. So hopefully, I'm hoping we're feeling a little bit more mellow this afternoon and this evening. Okay. Joe, look at it go. I'm really rhymey tonight. Joe Mooney, a solid 10. I tell you what, whatever she's drinking, you want to be having a sip of, because she had a bit of a win, she had a bit of a stress, and now she's just straight back on the horse, rocking and rolling to the best of her ability and doing a bloody good job of it as well. Terst, like I said, he's an 8.67 out of 10. I'm after last start. I mean, yesterday, I'm not going to tell a lie, gang. It was a bloody hard day for me yesterday. I mean, political stuff aside and lockdown stuff, really for me was quite secondary compared to some of the personal stuff that I was roller coastering with. But look, I'm so grateful for what I have got. My first reaction with all of Dan Andrews' stuff was the fact I was just so happy that my kids can go back to school and actually have some mates. Today, I was speaking to Mr. Stafford earlier on this afternoon, and yeah, look, I felt a little bit brain tired and a little bit not stressed, not anxious, just a little bit sort of worn out. But now, gang, it's on like Donkey Kong. I am done with the whinging and the moaning. We need to just crack on with what we can do. Whinging's going to do you no good, my friends. Whinging will do you no good. And I can hear the people saying, well, look, if you don't say anything, then they will get away with everything. The simple truth is, my friends, that's simply not the case. They will get held accountable. So we need to focus on what energy we have. We need to focus it on what we can do. All right, gang? So for me, I'm 8 and rising, Turks. 8 and rising. All right, my friends. Let's crack on with what we can do, not what we can't do. So, Nick, no, I won't admit that Vikings will win this season. I think they're a bit of a trip away. They could have done something a couple of years ago. I don't think that's happening this time, my friend. I do apologize for that, but I'm a Steelers fan, man, so what can I say? All right, gang. The can-do list. The can-do list. So, my friends, sorry, just a little customary little nod to Mr. Stewart there. Always likes being on the show. So, my friends, we've heard enough. We've heard plenty about what we can't do. Dwelling on it will do us no good. Trying to make change and whatnot by government pressure and so on and so forth, I completely understand. But how long are we going to be doing this for before we start looking after our own backyard, before we start looking after our own castle and taking control of it as best as we possibly can. Hey? Let me ask you that question, my friends. How long are we just going to keep blaming external forces for our problems? I understand, like, don't get me wrong, my friends. I get it. I'm in the same boat. But there are plenty of things that we can do if we're struggling for money, or if we're looking at how we can keep our business moving forward. It's about getting stuff done that you never had the opportunity to do. Okay? So let's crack on with it, all right? First thing I want to talk about in the can-do list is something about networking, but I'm going to talk about digital networking. Now, this applies to everybody around the country, if not the world. I'm a firm believer from a networking point of view that we must give back to the ecosystem that provides for us. And I'm talking from a locality point of view, our local community, business community, school communities, whatever the case may be. You must give back to the ecosystem that provides for you. Otherwise, your ecosystem is going to run out. So, my friends, how can we do that right now, especially if we're in Metro Melbourne and we are locked down? Quite simply, my friends, you need to be able to start. Well, you don't need to be able, because you all can. You need to start up conversations now that are going to turn into fruitful relationships 2 ways down the track. What do I mean by that? So basically, when I was a frontline real estate agent, 73% of my stock in the end came from referral. And gang, I was doing between sort of 60 to 90 transactions a year. So we're not talking about the odd few. We're talking about a number of transactions that came through via referral. Now, my friend, I don't know about you, but my stress levels weren't as high when that was the case. Even though I was going up against other agents still, the 50-50s were turning into 60-40s or 70-30s or 80-20s in my favor. So, my friends, when we think about digital networking, and we all know that networking should be an important part of what we do, but no one really puts any thought or process or strategy towards how they go about their networking. It's very much, in a real estate sense, a scattergun approach, a token appearance here, some sponsorship there, okay? You're going to end up either becoming an also-ran or very easy to forget, or the area's ATM if you just go down the sponsorship path. So how can we digital network? Basically, gang, and I'm saying this in as plutonic a way as I possibly can, my friends, as plutonic a way as possible, you got to slide into the DMs, my friends. Sliding into the DMs in a plutonic way. So I'm not talking about whoring yourself out to all the local businesses, but by actually reaching out on a one-on-one basis to key people of influence in your local area. And before that, actually getting the homework done on who you need to connect with is of vital importance right now, my friends. Vital importance. If you're looking for ways to improve your chances of getting business, because we are all going to be wanting to get as much business as we possibly can, you've got to improve the probability of a successful outcome. That is what you need to do with this can-do list. From a digital networking point of view, you need to be looking at any schools or whatever that have any existing relationships with any of your competitors. You need to be then identifying key targets, and from there, moving into the DM space. Like, I basically started and built my auction business purely through DMs. Purely through DMs. Now, the really cool thing about Metro Melbourne right now is that we've got a hell of a lot of people with a bit more time on their hands. So if you slipped them a DM and said, hey, look, I've seen that you've done tremendous work around a community. Can you? I would love to have a virtual coffee with you. As and when you have time. Happy to work around your kids if you've got them. Blah 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 blah. By then, setting up a Zoom or something face to face, not a phone call, like some sort of face to face interaction, FaceTime, whatever you use, Google Teams, whatever. You can then look at actually connecting as a human being before they judge you as a real estate agent. All right? I'm going to be doing a hell of a lot of this with a lot of my clients in the coaching space over the course of the next few months, because it is the most powerful form of prospecting if you get it right. But gang, just to give you a bit of something to focus on, that is definitely, I guarantee it is going to progress your business if you start identifying people that are in positions like chairmen of footy clubs, or presidents of whatever it is, or local business groups, or schools, or anybody of that sort of nature, doctors. Well, maybe not doctors, they're going to be a bit chock-a-block right now, yeah? But anybody else, you need to be hitting them up and setting up conversations and asking them how they are as a human being and building the foundation from there. I am actually, in the next couple of days, going to be setting up a private group and offering a free look at my blueprint from a networking point of view, and creating a network of interdependence, a collaborative network that will turn you into one of the go-to people in your entire community. If you're interested, flip me a DM and I will add you to it. So, Robbie Osimo jumping on. Networking relationships have never been more important, not only for business, but as a support network for those who are doing it tough. Could not agree with you more, my man. We need to get out of this, we need to get out of this, and I know it's easier said than done, COVID mindset, right? I'm just going to label it COVID mindset. Bollocks to COVID mindset. We know and understand and appreciate that there are lots and lots and lots of people doing it tough. And Rob's absolutely spot on, so I'm not blasting his comment or anything by any stretch. Like, far from it. He's actually prompted me to say something I wanted to say. We all know that there's lots and lots of people doing it tough. We do not need to be reminding them now. We don't need to be reminding them. No problem, mate. We do not need to be reminding them. So what can we be? We can be the light at the end of the tunnel. We can be the lighthouse from which people navigate their way back through stormy waters. We can be hope for our communities. We can. It's all well and good sweat sitting in our own filth, but it ain't going to get you clean. I think it's Zig Ziglar that says, baths won't keep you clean forever. That's why we recommend doing it daily. Offering people some degree of hope will pay you back now and in the long run. Be the lighthouse, my friends. Be the lighthouse. I'll tell you now, and I'm proof right here. Yesterday, I spent so many different little points dwelling on the guy that I lost a couple of months ago. But today is all about how I can help people. The endorphin rush that you get from assisting others, it spurs you on to do more. You then start looking at how you can help these people. That presents you with a positive dopamine rush because of the anticipation of what you can potentially do to help people move forward. Do you reckon that's going to help you? Up here, if not here initially. Because right now, gang, this is way more critical than this, if you ask me. Big time. So, gang, be the lighthouse, my friends, around your community. And it starts with sliding into the DMs of a few people that you can start building some relationships with. Start the conversation by just saying, I'm calling as a human. A lot of the content that's coming from a lot of coaches, a lot of trainers, a lot of leaders in our space is be human to your customers, be human to your potential vendors, and so on and so forth. True. But what about our local businesses? Got to start networking with those guys and seeing how we can collaborate now to at least give someone a bit of a ray of hope that they can keep their business going. Okay? So digital networking, absolutely damn critical. Absolutely critical. Next one, my friends. Process SWOT analysis. Now, I mentioned this. I shouted this for the 2 days before Stage 4 happened in Metro Melbourne. But now, my friends, we have no excuse. And like I said, irrespective of what business you run, irrespective of where you are in the world, we have most likely got time to be doing a bit of this. Now, in terms of, just so that everybody's aware, SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, okay? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. That's nothing I've made up. That is so common, it's not even funny. But how many times do you feel, for example, if you're a leader in a business, how many times do you feel that your recruitment process lets you down? How many times do you bang on about, oh shit, we've got this new starter coming on 2 days. Shit, we've got to get ourselves organized, because you've got no induction process. Yeah? Are you starting to hear where I'm coming from, gang? Yes, it's not exactly the most glamorous stuff in the world, but we need to utilize the time now to increase our probability of success down the track. And this is the stuff that we need to be doing. If you're a frontline salesperson, don't think that this doesn't apply to you, because it does. Have a look at how you're running your diary. Have a look at how you could potentially make a lot more of your downtime at certain points. Various other things like this. Yeah? Again, I'll do another session free on a private group just for people that want to talk about that in much greater detail. Okay? But break every single element of your job, of your business, of your role, of your various bits of paperwork and process that you need to do. Break it all down and ask yourself at each stage, how am I rating this out of 10? How is my administration out of 10? How is my induction process out of 10? How is my recruitment process out of 10? Each little element. Tackle it like give yourself 4 or 5 days per bit, per area. All right? And like I said, I can happily go through this with you guys on a private group. I'm going to start breaking things down so that people can start to get some real good value. I had 1 or 2 comments that I've been oversimplifying things. So it's about time that I started bringing some real meat and 2 veg to this thing. All right. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it in some private groups. So if you are interested in any way, shape or form, like I said, mention in the comment section, send me a DM and I'll get you involved. All right. It's going to be coming through in the next couple of days. But break each element down. How am I scoring this out of 10? The lowest scoring elements, attend to them first, because you're going to set yourself a bit of a priorities list, right? Based on those scores, yeah? Very, 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 very important, if you ask me. Tremendously important. Mel, beautiful. She is a recruitment expert, and oh my God, I've seen this in recruitment so many times. Onboarding creates retention and candidate success. It's all very, very important for so many people. If you're a salesperson and you have any sort of ambition to actually expand your empire, you've got to start thinking about this sort of stuff. You've got to start thinking about, right, what is my personality profile? What am I going to need that is what I don't have in the next person? It's all well and good finding like for like and finding people that you're going to get on with, but you don't want a replica of yourself. I have not got the attention span for admin. Hence why the very first person that I hired was someone that loved getting my accounts organized. First thing I did. It's not like I can't do it. I've got an engineering degree, for God's sake. Numbers aren't a problem. But it bores me to tears. So bollocks to that. Get someone else to do it, and then I'll crack on doing whatever it is that I'm better at. The one big thing that I'm better at. Okay? Have a look at every single element of your process and give yourself a brutal score out of 10. And then see which areas you need to improve the most. and then tackle them. Okay? All good things, my friends. All good things that you need to do. So culture within yourself as well. What are your values? One of the guys that started their mentorship with me today, he's put some really good time in with an expert in all that sort of stuff around what his values actually are and what they mean to him. Don't just pick some BS line that you saw off a whole bunch of different profiles. Integrity, honesty, trustworthiness. Come on, gang. Come on. I think that should be a given, right, in our job. And I feel that if you feel you have to say it, don't know if you actually are it. My 3, for example, connection, fun, and simplicity. Love simple, mate. Love being simple. It's the best way to be. Now, induction, reviewing. So reviews of your performance within yourself, within your team. Data handling. If you haven't got your data organized by now, you have got Dan Andrews has done you a favor and given you a reprieve. Because you had no excuse. You should have got it done if you're in Metro Melbourne. And all around the country, yes, private sale numbers have been really, really good in New South Wales and Queensland and what have you. But we should be getting our data sorted. You haven't got time to be mucking around with your data when it really does hit the floor. When that pedal hits the metal, you've got to make sure your data is straight as a die, clean. Social media policies. Now, what do I mean by social media policies? How are you going to rock and roll from a persona point of view on social? If you're a leader, do you want to set some rules in place for people? I don't know. Do you want to let everybody just go willy-nilly? I hope not. Okay? I'm not talking about full shackling them into, conformity, but just setting some nice guidelines so that you know you have a consistency in your branding. That's what I mean by social media policies. This is stuff that no one thinks about. No one. Unless it's like a Sunday night and you eventually ran out of other shit to think about. And then you just have a bit of a thought, go to bed, wake up the next day, and then it's Monday and you just start cracking on with all the normal stuff. Okay, gang? So the last one. For God's sake, set your marketing. For God's sake, set your marketing, gang. Real estate, the real estate industry does its marketing about 3 months too late, all the time. Sorry for the banging, by the way. It's a bit windy down here. We're in a bit of a wind tunnel. I've got a massive shed door. Every so often it has a bit of a flap, so I do apologize for that. You guys, we as an industry, and I recognize this not long after I started, we market way too late for the time. Think about it, gang. Think about it, right? I know it's a little bit different now, but basic mechanics still apply. Right, if anyone's half organized, right, or as we hit to September, October time, what is everyone thinking about? Christmas. When does the real estate space think about Christmas? December. Way too late, my friends. Way too late. You need to be resonating with people within the mindsets of people that you are serving. Stop being reactive and treating marketing as an afterthought. You've got to be proactive with it all. Social media. I've said this a couple of times. Get your spine, get your framework of social media set in stone. So that at the very least, if you go balls on fire ballistic, you've got a spine of stuff that is going out consistently. If you don't put efforts like this in now, you are just going to be forever on the roller coaster of real estate. You will get so busy, hopefully, when everything does start kicking off, that you will forget to do anything for business at the turn of the year. And then you're going to be on that roller coaster. Get off it. It takes a bit of preparation. In Metro Melbourne, you have got no excuse. No excuse. But that's the really cool bit about this, gang. You can get your shit that together that when the curtain does raise, far out, you're going to be like a rock star. How cool is that? Oh, man. I'm getting shivers up my spine, my friends, because this is the golden goose of an opportunity to turn your crusty old banger into a real nice, sleek-looking sports car of an operation. You've got time to put in the upgrades, to put in the work under the hood. Get it done. I'll tell you what, if there is anybody out there, right, that claims to have got it all done, DM me and we will set up a session and we will go through it all. If anyone reckons that they've got all of that done and now they've just got nothing to do but whinge, DM me. Allow me, humor me. Let me challenge it. Okay? More than happy to do it. More than happy to do it. But my friends, I've just spent 26 minutes and I've probably given a lot of people a hell of a lot to do during this quiet period. Paul asked me a question. It's just popped up and I just looked down and just saw it. What social apps are the best? FB, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram. Budget spend to make impact. You can make an impact for free. I'm like all the stuff in these private groups, right? Don't forget, I'm a POM. We are tight by nature, okay? All the stuff that I'll be going through in these private groups, I'd say about 90% of it, if not 95, will be for free. It will be all the stuff that I'll be saying will be free. Free from a money point of view, but then also free from an excuse point of view. One of the key pillars when it comes to becoming a professional human, my friends, and you're all going to get to see this over the journey of the next few months, is practicality. No point spruiking all these fancy Dan processes if it's going to cost you an arm and a leg and you can't afford it after 2 months. All right? Practicality is critical, especially now. We've got to work to the constraints that we have, be it financially, mentally, physically, capacity, governmentally. All right? That's definitely not a word, by the way. I thought, Scott, mate, right. Cameron, or anyone. There's a real quick way to piss a POM off, right? I'll tell you free and for nothing. Real easy way to upset a POM. Call them Scottish. That really upsets us. Just because I don't sound like I'm from London, there is a world outside of London, Aussies, all right? Please be aware of that. Oh, Cameron, mate. Oh, man. I'm almost tempted to break curfew just to come and hunt you down for that comment, my friend. Right, so, gang, you've all got plenty to do. You've all got plenty to focus on from a productive point of view, from a positive point of view. It's just the same, right, as trying to get your vendors to put in some elbow grease to get their house ready to go. How many of them have got all the best ideas in the world and then only end up doing half of them because they ran out of time or they couldn't be bothered? Right? What I always used to say to all my vendors is the second you feel like you can't be asked, have a think about how much money you are sacrificing by going and sitting on the couch. Equate the time that you're spending into dollars that you could potentially make off the back of the work that you're going to do now. And if you're happy to sacrifice it, go pop a beer. But if you'd rather make some more money, Pick that paintbrush back up, my friend. All right? Everything that I talked about in the last half an hour is applicable to every single level of business, whether it's directors, whether it's sales, whether it's PM, whether it's BDM, whether it's admin. It applies to every facet, every level, every individual of your business. If you want to incorporate your team, if you're a leader, get them to assess for themselves how they feel their part of their business is going out of 10. See how it matches to yours. Don't talk about their personal performance. Talk about processes, black and white mechanics within your dynamic, within your team, within your office. Now is not the time to be bashing people for poor performance. All right? Get them involved. Keeping team culture is really difficult right now. Get them involved in some of this. Talk about the culture side of things. Ask them, how do you feel we can improve our culture? And try not to make it a bullshit sort of, yay, team thing, team bonding kind. Like, actually make it productive. Make sure that you don't just talk about, oh, it'd be great to go out. Yeah, you're going to be doing some catching up when things settle down. Of course you are, right? You got to get back together. But we need to talk about practicality, sustainability. Bollocks to the occasional night out. What can you do from a cultural point of view week upon week that you can sustain and maintain? Practicality, my friends. All right? But gang, as you can tell, Reedy's back up for the game. I had my Suki Lala moment yesterday, and to be quite frank, I'm not going to apologize for it. I am not. I swore a lot. I will apologize for the swearing. I think hooligan soccer stand Andy came out like yesterday. Well, I apologize to a degree. If you are offended by swearing, I do apologize. I don't make a habit of it, and I do like to try and work to the level at which people are happy to accept. But yesterday, I just felt like I needed to make my point and make it very, very sharply. Okay? So if anyone was offended by some of the swearing, I do apologize. But I'm not going to apologize for my attitude. No way. But now, gang, Reedy's up for the challenge. Reedy's up for the fight. I'm going to do a whole bunch of free sessions behind closed doors in a private group environment. If you want to get involved, please let me know. Send me a DM and I'll grab your details and add you to the list. For now, friends, though, if you just want to pick me up, like I said, I don't bullshit rah-rah. I don't. It's the same with mental health. Making someone feel better, saying, oh, you can do it. It's great. And I'm sure they'll appreciate it, but it won't last long. That little boost will not last very long. Practical stuff, tangible things that can help people to move forward is absolutely critical. Absolutely critical. From a mental health point of view, from a business point of view, whatever. We need practicality, gang. All right, my friends. I'm going to leave you to enjoy what is left of your evening. I thank you so much for your attention and for your, for all your comments and all that sort of stuff. Paul, I will be doing a social media session just in terms of practicality from a frontline agent point of view. Okay. So please, if you want to sign up for that, please do. Okay. Gang, for now, please. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and if you're struggling, give me a shout. All right, gang, love ya, and look after yourselves, because it doesn't look like no one else is going to do it, so focus on that.